quartet of news stories begins in 60 seconds.
This is the W2 Report with Sanji Homura. Here's Sanji.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the W2 Report. I am your host, Sanji Homura. Today, we take a look at the question, are we good enough? The answer, we're not. But we go over the ground rules with Lord Crocosquirrel as always.
Rule number 1, being up the dick. That includes those people who wish to be super dick. You especially. Keeping your pants. Rule number 2, if you're having a problem figuring out rule number 1, please refer back to it. Do not contact anybody we've talked to about or whatever, and be horrifyingly annoying to them. We will find out because they'll tell us, and then we're going to find you.
And we will disavow any knowledge of your existence.
And then we're going to find you and show you why it is that shit flows downhill.
Joining us as always, we have our third man in the ring, Mr. Thomas.
Have you ever seen a grown developer naked?
I did not want that image at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hey, my wife has. Yes, folks, I have been a developer from time to time. Mostly tech writing or script writing or stuff. Yeah.
And joining us as always, we have Mr. Vaughn.
Well, Squirrel, you may have been a developer, but I'm certainly developing feelings for you right now.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I just realized it might not be that kind of podcast. My bad.
Yeah. Output only.
Input only.
No.
I have not input only.
Let's not get into another dongle gate scandal.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly not equipped for input only. And even that is okay.
First, we say hello to Raz.
Hi, Raz. How are you?
Hey. What have we here?
And also, what we have here is our question of the day. Is Ubisoft wrong for yanking the crew from people's libraries after server shutdown?
No. Yes, they are.
I would 100% say they are, because last time I yanked the crew, I got in trouble too.
Ooh.
Ooh. I'd say it depends on how you feel about the game.
Well, there was still a massive amount of support for the crew. Which should tell you.
Unfortunately, we have to segue into our lead story today. Blue Drake 42 gives Seba Games an ultimatum.
Ooh.
Are they getting married?
No, Seba Games is a pack of shitlords.
So they're not getting married.
Here's the update on Twitter. I will never call it X.
You probably should, though.
Boomer.
Maybe,
because Elon's gonna push that one back. He's gonna push that one up your pipe hole one of these days.
Maybe, but until that day comes, I'm still going to call it Twitter.
Living in the past, Sanji. Living in the past.
Well, if you're gonna use a corruption of their old name, maybe Trigger is better, because that's pretty much all it did was trigger people. It still does that, only in a slightly different direction.
That is an excellent idea.
Oh. Okay. Quoting Blue Drake here. An update on our lawsuit with SEBA Games. Over the last few weeks, our legal representatives at Morrison Cooper have been attempting to reach an amicable resolution with SEBA Games regarding their illegal use of our copyrighted assets being sold in their commercial game without permission. In an effort to be reasonable, we offered them a settlement agreement in which we would drop all charges on the condition that the studio paid all legal fees associated with our lawsuit against them so far, about $8,000, and also provided confirmation with proof that our assets have been removed from their game with provisions to assure that our assets would not be illegally used again. Fairly reasonable.
Yeah, $8,000 probably not too terrible. But if they took all of if SEBA Games took all of Blue Drake's shit out, they probably wouldn't have anything to go with.
That's true. However, less than 24 hours ago from post time, which was about the 10th of April, SEBA Games officially fused our offer and began filing DMCA strikes against creators who began uploading videos criticizing their studio for utilization of stolen assets. They filed 2 strikes against Mr. Rain and Redbeard Mortis, and they expect many more DMCA strikes, likely against even more creators, in the following coming days.
Wow. It's definitely not fun to stay at the DMCA.
I can actually, as far as the question of the day, I can confirm that the crew is not available at all anymore. I no longer have access to that game.
I do have a physical copy. Does that count?
Ooh, yes, it does.
Selling that on the internet.
But that was
Blue Drake's making it clear. He firmly believes that these copyright strikes are a clear violation of these creators' First Amendment rights. It's the same to me that SEBA Games has chosen violence at every opportunity when we have given them so many opportunities to resolve this situation peacefully. While a lawsuit against SEBA Games would be expensive, which is why we offered them every opportunity to avoid it, we would almost certainly win. Regardless of this, they seem determined to waste what little resources they have attacking creators who criticize their studio for using copyrighted assets that SEBA Games themselves have openly admitted to using.
Okay.
In light of this unwarranted escalation of the situation, Drakeling Labs will now begin the process of fundraising their lawsuit against SEBA Games since they have refused our settlement offer and are currently filing DMCA strikes against creators. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. I firmly believe that a strike may be coming against my first video on Drakeling Labs' situation with SEBA Games, Operation Asset Theft, in the coming days.
Go for it. I'm thinking that if SEBA Games wanted to do that, they'd have done it already.
Yes. But
For people like this, there is no time like the present.
yes, I agree.
I'm just glad they didn't put an H in there between the S and I, because I'd have a hard time holding in the laughter if they had named it Sheba Games. Dog.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be adorable. But it is a
Yeah.
dog eat dog world out there.
Yeah.
Oh, surely you can't be serious.
Of course I am. And stop calling me Shirley.
But
I'm always serious. Now stop calling me Shirley. Okay.
strike or no, I will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates for you as I get them.
Yeah. Anyway, the Crew 2 is actually available on Steam. But if you want the really good, fuck you edition, it's like $90 plus taxes.
And that provides a perfect segue to our next story. Ubisoft executes legal theft on owners of the Crew. 1, deleting it from players' owner, leaving gamers with nothing.
Yep. I saw that. I saw this one here a little while back, and they reserve the right at all times to strip our licenses, which is actually very common in end-user license agreements. However, an appropriate law boot should probably get that sorted out for us. Well, you signed the thing. Yeah, well, do you read those, Your Honor? Do you? Do you really? I bet you don't. I bet you the copy of Microsoft Windows you got on that fucking machine over there, or Apple OS or whatever the fuck. It has the same things in there. So what happens if they want to strip the? So what happens if they want to strip the rights off of every machine that's owned by whatever government you happen to work for?
I guess trying to get this sorted is just a race against time.
Oh
boy.
But yes, confirm my copy of the Crew has been disabled. I can still see it in my library, but I cannot. But I cannot play it or install it or do anything else. Actually, it was installed and now isn't.
We're sorry for your loss, girl. We really are.
Well. Actually, I don't think it may not have been uninstalled by way of my machine, but
oh boy,
if they did do that, I'd be upset.
And we lost you for about 5 seconds.
If they actually managed to reach in and uninstall that game from my computer, I'd be pissed.
Oh boy.
Because there's a difference between them shutting down a server and denying us further access to the game. That if you're actually going in and removing shit from my hard drive, we're gonna have words.
How many words?
More words than they want to hear.
Good to know.
And some of them even in the 4-letter variety.
Can you give us some examples?
We don't want to get Sanji demonetized with some of the words I have to say.
Okay. One of them is dong.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
This gets me back to Might and Magic X, which you can buy a full copy of on Ubisoft and on Steam. But because the little authentication server is no longer functional, you have to go in and make a change to one of the INI files to get to the about 3/4 of the game. Just to be weird, and even then, you can't just do it directly. You've got to have you've got to do X thing, and if you don't know what X thing is, then you're boned.
I mean, you have to complain on Twitter. I mean, you did say you had to do X thing.
No, I wouldn't complain on Twitter. I can't. Funnily enough, I wasn't even arsed to post to Twitter after the Twitter API stopped work. YouTube cut off the Twitter API.
Okay.
They were posting all of my videos and live streams and stuff to Trigger, followed after a while by, "Oh, we're going to stop doing that now." And yeah, no, I haven't been fucking bothered.
Quoting Engadget, Ubisoft's online-only racing game, The Crew, stopped being operable on April 1st. Some users are reporting, however, that things have gone a bit further. They say that company actually reached into Ubisoft Connect accounts and revoked the license to access the game, according to reports by GameRant and others.
Well, you do know that the guy that's running Ubisoft right now, I forget his freaking name, and not sure I want to know.
Todd Howard?
He was, no, that's Bethesda.
Yeah, my bad.
He was of the distinct opinion that we know that we own nothing and we should be happy about that. But yeah, he was going to make an example. He was going to produce some sort of an example at some point to drive that home. I'm pretty sure this was it. Besides, they went and they cut it all off, chopped it to little bits on April 1st. Which is, I think, the same day they announced they were going to do it. A lot of people, myself included, thought that was a fucking joke and a half, and it was not.
Some users liken this move to theft, as they had purchased the game with their own money and received no warning that Ubisoft would be deleting the license.
Yep. The other one, the ones that didn't complain were the ones that thought it was a joke, and then they were complaining 3 days later.
Ubisoft, license to steal.
When attempting to launch the game, these players say they received a message that access was no longer possible.
Yeah, well, that's all. That's a thing, you know. You can't access this now. What? Fuck you.
It was at this point that Ubisoft realized, or did not realize, they fucked up.
Oh, they have definitely not realized. Not yet, at least, anyway.
No, they're ignoring that. But if the guy I feel bad for is the guy that was talked into buying it on the 31st of March.
Oh yeah.
He coughed up. This guy coughs up, $50-$60 for a copy of The Crew, and then 12 hours later, it's dead.
If that's not value for money, I don't know what is.
Wow.
On his face, this sounds pretty bad. People paid for something that was snatched away.
Yep. On the other hand, it seems that what people seem to be want to request here is that they release the server code for private servers, which in my brain would be a compromise. Ubisoft doesn't have to pay to run the server, and they still get to play their game.
Unfortunately,
well, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Or so they thought.
But they will if they're forced to by a court of law. No, I think that is a compromise would be just fine. Somebody else gets to pay for the servers. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
This isn't the biggest. Jumping ahead in the article, this isn't the biggest deal in the world. Seeing how The Crew is not operable, but it does highlight a major problem with the purchase and use of digital goods. We pay money for these products. We think we own them, but we don't own a damn thing.
Hell, even if you have a physical copy of some object, they can still, at least in theory, disable your ability to use it on your hardware.
Yep. Read the terms of service from Ubisoft and any other major game publisher for proof of that.
All of them. They all use the same licensing and the same language.
Felipe Treble, Ubisoft Director of Subscriptions, recently told GameIndustry.biz that players will become comfortable with not owning their games. I am not sure we'll ever be comfortable with the idea that stuff we paid for can disappear on a dime, even if it becomes standard practice. This is Lawrence Block writing for InGag.
Yeah, well, I would not be comfortable with that any which way you want to put it. Because if you're going to do that, what's to say they're not going to try and revoke the license on the macaroni and cheese you had for dinner 3 nights ago?
Yeah.
And of course, if you don't return that to them intact, they're going to sue you for $1 billion because you're Alex Jones or something. They're going to sue you for a huge because they're going to sue you for this horrifying amount of money because you're in violation of their license.
Yep.
You should be careful that the water you're using to boil the mat, make sure that's not turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
Speaking of one loon, how about we have another?
How to do what Atari did. What Atari did, Chapter 1. Yes. How to generate a video game crash by yourself. Because you have no idea what you didn't pay attention to what your install base was. Right, you've got you've got 1.5 million or so installed, actually purchased Atari 2600 are out there in the wild, and you make 3 million copies of a game. Did I miss something here? Not to mention the game in question was E.T., which was a severe disappointment for everybody. Not that it was necessarily bad, but there was only one, but only on the kiddie version of the game, the number 3 slot or the number 3 difficulty, could you actually finish it? Because it was entirely possible for the FBI agent or the scientist to steal you off to one place. You get picked up by the other one, and you get ping pong back and forth.
Well, speaking of one loon, how about we have another?
Squirrel. No, I'm joking.
No. You're the loony.
That is true.
I thought you were always voting for the Raving Monster Looney Party.
Probably. I don't know anymore. The pills make me do weird things.
Well, we have
I am firmly of the opinion the Raving Monster Looney Party is the best party in the UK. Period.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Oh, you gotta think about it though. You got the conservatives who turned into the liberals, and then the liberals turned into garbage, even more so than they already were.
I wasn't ready for politics today.
Is it bad that I notice UK politics more than I give a shit about American politics? Okay, what do we got here? Oh, yes, our industry analyst. And no, I did not mispronounce that. I did it on purpose.
A likely story.
No, I did that on purpose and with malice aforethought. I know who we're talking about here, and yeah, he's an anal cyst.
Industry analyst Michael Pracher has claimed that Nintendo and PlayStation business models of console exclusives no longer works.
Except that Microsoft still does the same shit.
During a recent episode of The Pracher Factor, quote unquote, Michael Pracher was asked why Xbox would release its first-party titles on other platforms if Game Pass had been doing so well. In response, he stated that the reason it was doing this is because Nintendo and PlayStation's model of console-exclusive titles on proprietary hardware, in his view, is broken. Okay. Pracher, my guy. We've been around the block for a few times. We know the ins and outs of the industry. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do this here.
I think it's actually Prachter, by the way. I didn't want to be that guy.
Well,
Pracher, I don't even know her.
Oh, God.
we've been around the block a few times. We know the ins and outs of the industry. What makes you so sure that the model of console exclusives is broken when 95% of all computer hardware has Microsoft Windows installed?
Yeah, I know. What's up with that?
What makes you so sure that console exclusive titles on proprietary hardware is broken when 95% of all computer viruses target Windows machines? And especially, what makes you so sure that console exclusive titles on proprietary hardware is so broken that Microsoft can release games on a freaking dime on both PC and Xbox same day?
Yeah, because they don't release those for PlayStation. Seriously, what the hell? Okay, just to go along with this here. Some of these consoles have long since been emulated, and it didn't, and most of it didn't take very long. A lot of the earlier consoles were reverse engineered in months, maybe a year and a half. The PlayStation 4 is being stubborn at the moment. I don't know if work has started on the PS5 or not. But the Switch, oh yeah, like a week. It took a week. You can get emulators for at least those, and anything Sony released for the PlayStation 3 backwards, most of which works very, very well. And all of them would be able to take original media if it was available. So there. So is Nintendo actually releasing games on proprietary hardware? Not really.
Hello, we got a new guy here. Hello, Dag Seller.
God. I think I got that right.
I think he just summoned a demon.
I may have. But no, there are alternate ways to get them to get Mario games on your freaking PC. Nintendo doesn't like it when you do that, but there are ways.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's probably a hacker who's already done it.
Oh.
Actually, I have heard tell that there is a Linux-based PS4 emulator that kind of works. I don't know of anything else. I don't know if anybody else has actually made any progress.
Do people still use Linux?
Mm-hmm. Lots of them.
Oh, fair enough. I stand corrected.
That's about half. That's about half of the. That's about half of the pile that that 95% that are the 5% that are not using Windows. The other half is Mac OS.
Ah,
We don't count
Just
cell phones in that.
promise.
We don't count cell phones and tablets because that's pretty much all Linux based.
Okay.
Now, which one of you can tell me which one of you can tell me what Mac OS is actually what the OS X line for Macs is based on or built from, I should say.
the Big Mac from
Unix.
McDonald's.
Return the Mac by Mark Morrison.
And
Pope McTavish from Call of Duty.
Mac
actually,
Davis.
funnily enough, Sanji is almost correct. It is a version of Unix called FreeBSD. And here's a better one for you. Do you know how much it costs to get a copy of macOS?
$2.
More than that.
$3.50.
More than that.
$2.01.
That's still that's lower than Thomas's number of 350.
Numbers aren't my speciality.
Well, that's because you're using metric.
I measure things in T.
Funnily enough, it's actually $10. Get a copy of that, mostly because the technology they're using is not actually specific to a Macintosh.
I see. History lessons.
Yes. How good Linux Red Hat you see? I know, right?
I would have Linux Red Hat installed if it wasn't for the fact that
Most of the
I have a
software.
limited space. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you see, I'm not actually a big fan of Red Hat or Ubuntu, but that's me.
Ah.
It went to Raz. It went to shit. That's what happened to it. The company that's doing the development on Red Hat started working the fuckery.
Squirrel, we need a whole episode of you like giving us a rundown of what Linux is and like the history of Linux. So that would be amazing.
Yeah, no. I don't think that would be very interesting for the people on board right now.
Well, if this video gets 100 likes, Squirrel will start doing a Linux history lesson.
Yeah, okay. Give me 1,000 likes and I don't know, $150 in donations to the channel, and I'll consider it.
I mean, that might be a bit steep, but we'll try.
All right. And our last story is our lead story today. Or top
That
story
means it
today.
should have been in the front, shouldn't it?
Yeah. That's right. We have
Yeah.
this website here called Fallen and Reborn.
See, I'm a weirdo. I prefer Debian to Red Hat.
Gavin.
Yes. Fallen and Reborn.
It's a survival RPG that requires a mobile phone, I think.
You
But,
think you should know at this point, sir?
well, it's
The research department has failed.
yes. The research department has failed because it's because nobody knows who these people actually are. Except some people actually found out who they actually are.
Damn hackers.
The research department failed because they don't know, because for some reason the research department did not let anyone know that what platforms this thing is on.
Are we
Well,
blaming
they-
Lendragon for this?
They
Or
didn't announce any of that information.
Oh, really? That'd probably be why. That still says the research department failed.
No, I'm just going to go out and say I'm just going to blame Donald Trump for it.
No, that wouldn't work.
paywall on it.
That paywall just got 10 feet bigger. Now it's huge.
Yes.
Wow. When you did that voice, guess what else got 10 foot bigger?
That just got
Well,
10 feet bigger too.
Unfortunately, some people actually dug into the files. Massive hat tip to the Callum Upton Discord for providing some of this information. And
By the
Song of
way,
Soil.
The one thing I didn't mention is that Sanji is the research department.
He's also the human resources.
No, that's my job.
Oh yeah.
He's supposed to write. He's supposed to let me review stories before he posts them, and he didn't do that for this one. Well, that's okay. I'll get over it.
But here is some proof that Arcadius has been. Oh! Look at this. Here's Arcadius Entertainment again.
Oh boy.
Are these on the PS1?
And here's Arcadius Entertainment being directly linked to Fallen and Reborn.
Ooh.
So this was a case where they had fallen, but they could get back up.
Something like that.
Something like that. But what makes this even worse is the website that you see here happens to be a template for a site skin called Eldritch.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see here that Eldritch is a theme specially made for gamers and businesses in the video game industry, packed with 6 fully customizable homepages. There's the forum homepage, there's the esports home, there's the game showcase, there's the shop home, there's the concept artist home, there's the blog home. E-commerce done easily.
Oh.
Yeah, they did try to keep that a secret. And there's also inner pages where you can go 404, coming soon, contact us, about me, about us, match, blogs and forums. And it's done by a studio called Code Interactive. You can buy the theme. You can actually buy the theme.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign at all.
It comes with added viruses.
Oh no.
And you can buy the theme for
Okay.
$59 a month, maybe.
Now, here it is, Sanji. It is actually a mobile game. I can confirm that from their website.
Is it also on landline?
Eh.
Is it also on AOL?
Yeah, no, probably not.
Are you trying to tell me it's not on Tamagotchi?
No, it won't be that.
Or Digimon.
Neither of those would.
Is it
It
not
would
a
not work for
Tiger
either of those.
handheld game?
I want to play it on my Etch-a-Sketch.
Good luck.
I
Good
want to
luck.
play it on my Palm.
Pogs.
Oh. Anyway, let's do this. Yeah, they even have the fake PS4 game, fake shop, fake shops.
Look at all that value.
Look at all this value going down the drain. All for a mobile game and rebranding.
Wait, back that up.
How many
A little
more?
more. Danger Zone. Explore the Firefly. I don't remember that. I don't remember that game for the PS3. Bravo Echo Charlie is not nice. Scroll on.
Go on.
You guys scroll down a little bit.
Can't. This is slideshow.
Oh, you could be kidding me.
Yeah.
Damn it, Microsoft.
Sigh. 12 results. So we're only looking at, we can only see a couple of them.
Yeah.
Explore the Firefly with something that says Age of something. What is
Age
that?
of the Firefly.
Oh, Age of the Firefly? Let me see something.
But what actually is the age of the Firefly? Is it 35 years old? Or
It's
is
fake
it like...
game.
Oh. Quick, add it to cart. If we buy it, they have to make it.
Wait.
If you build it, you might get
Oh,
sued.
no. No. Don't remind me.
That's what I did wrong. Okay.
I think it's time we come clean. We are Arcadius Entertainment.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Where yeah, that's a long time ago.
It's actually just advertising. That would be kind of crazy, though, if it ended up being one of us who was the mastermind behind it.
Let me see what we got. Okay. Oh,
My money's on Thomas.
Oh.
Excellent.
I knew it.
Don't forget to answer our question of the day in the comments.
Yep.
Is Ubisoft wrong for yanking the crew from people's libraries after the server shut down?
Yes.
Why not?
Bonus question, tell us what you've yanked.
It's at this point that Vaughn realized that was not an appropriate question to ask.
Well, I think I'm cancelled.
We would have been canceled a long time ago.
My mission is complete.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I've got a conspiracy theory. The A in Thomas stands for Arcadius.
Yeah, funnily enough, Fall Down Republic has almost nothing. There's almost nothing on it.
Ah, well, it looks good.
Well, it's supposed to be a PS3 game. I should be able to find it everywhere.
That's assuming it's a real game.
I mean, it doesn't look very real. It looks a bit like Rainbow Six Siege.
And a bit of Fallout, too.
Yeah. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. That does actually look like a suit of power armor. Kind of.
A little
Yeah,
bit.
what's for
Yeah.
Fallout 3?
Maybe it's haze.
No, that's the Fallout 3 power armor.
Ah.
P60 looks like.
A weapon to surpass the mobile rift. The Phantom game also, yes.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Also, it's quite funny how it's under the Xbox One tag in the in the URL, but these are all PlayStation.
Yeah, and the T-shirt there.
Yeah, do you not remember playing a T-shirt on Xbox One?
Mm.
Oh.
Nope, there's that one. Apparently you can actually do that. Let me see. Let's see. Where's the card? Where's the card?
I also have to say something about one of the mock-ups of the game. That danger zone.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
I went to the danger zone.
Maybe we're currently in the danger zone.
You know who would love that game? Sterling Archer.
Ah, Tom Cruise.
No, he wouldn't enjoy it as much. I mean, he had the money for it, but he's a little short.
Oh,
Interesting.
as someone who's about the same height as Tom Cruise, he's very tall.
Actually, does anybody remember the Prototype series back on the PS3?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
good.
I remember.
They have
I know
another.
the first
They have another game called Prototype for P7i. Apparently, it's not PS3. It's supposed to look like PS3 in teeny weeny ice vision. It's not.
No.
Not because it wasn't P Diddy.
PT1. I don't know what exactly it's supposed to be, or PTI.
Is
Whatever.
it on the play box?
No.
The X station?
There you go.
I got there in the end. They said it couldn't be done.
Oh, and True
Maybe
Crime.
it's on,
That's always
maybe
fun.
it's on
Okay.
the Play Wii.
Maybe.
We
They-
play.
No.
We Play is already a game.
It's
that's right.
no. It's going to be the Wii Cube.
Oh,
Ah.
The Play Bone.
Anyone remember the Ouya?
Who actually remembers the Ouya?
I remember
That's
Ouya.
I remember the Yuga.
Who here owns one?
I don't.
I
I
didn't.
bought one.
I think that's about as good as we're going to get as far as admissions around here go. I know you've got one, Vaughn.
Well, I was going to get one, but Ubisoft took it away from me.
Oh.
Apparently, my
Oh,
license ran out or
bastard.
something.
Unfortunately, we may have to cut this off here.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've now devolved into. Ooh, I like this joke. Let's see how much further we can push it.
2 hours later.
Remember to do all the YouTubey things, and beware, the tax man cometh.
folks. This is Morgan Freeman. This concludes our broadcast day. I'm Morgan Freeman. Good night.